This story is about when I was in a relationship with a narcissist. This was really a hard time in my life, and it's something I look back on often, and I'm just glad that I'm out of that situation. And I hope that anyone who's going through narcissistic abuse right now can find the courage to just leave that evil person who's really bringing you down, because all they do is bring you down, make your life miserable, make your life a living hell. So here's my story. So I was in my senior year of college, and I was just going through a lot. My dad was in the hospital, pretty much on his deathbed. He was very sick. I was just really scared. I didn't know what was going to happen, if he was going to get better or if he was going to get worse. It was just a tough situation. So I went on Tinder just to look for somebody to talk to. At that time, I didn't know the reputation of Tinder, that is like used for sex or things like that. I was just looking for somebody to talk to, because seeing it as like a dating site. So I came across a guy on there. He was really handsome, and his description was saying that he went to the same university that I went to. That's what it said. I'm not going to name the university, but he also stated that he was very religious, and I can't remember everything exactly, but we were chatting for about a week before we met up in person. He picked me up on the college campus and took me to the local mall. He offered to buy me food. I said no. We chatted a little bit. He seemed very friendly. He's very smiled a lot. Uh, I remember he had like a very distinctive stare. Like when he was conversing with me, it seemed like he was just focused on me and nothing else. That's something I remember. He, I remember something that stood out. He said, I would never put my hands on a woman. And he said something along the lines like he protects his little sister and something phony. But after that, we didn't meet up again until like a week or two later. We video chatted like one or two times, just conversed through text message. And I remember during one of the video chats, he said, I love you. And this was like within the following 2 weeks that we had met up the first time. And I thought that was very, weird. It's always not good to say I love you to somebody that you don't know, because you know it's not true. You just met them. And I said, I love you too. So I didn't hear back from him after that. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks went by. I kept texting him and no reply. Like there was no reply back. So I was worried. I was wondering if something happened to him, and like if he was hurt or maybe he just didn't pay his phone bill. And oh, I forgot to mention, one of those weeks, like after we had met up, he had picked me up again from the college campus, and this time he was asking me if he could borrow $80 because he had messed up something from he had messed up his cousin's car somehow, like broke the mirror or something. Like he had a rental car, and he said that he broke his cousin's mirror somehow. So me, crazy, I lent him the $80, and of course I never received it back. I never received the money back. So after that, let me get into the time when I didn't hear from him for a long time. I kept calling and calling, and then somebody randomly sent me a text message saying that, let's use the name, say his name is John, just as a name. I don't want to put anybody's real name out there. So somebody sent me a text message saying John is locked up. You have to call this number to put money on the phone. So I did that, and I put money on the phone. I think it was through GTL, Global Tel Link. You have to put money on the, like, call the number, put money on your cell phone in order for somebody from jail to call you. So I think I put like about $15 on there. That was probably like the minimum you could put on there. And he called me a few days later, and I spoke to him, and he told me that he was locked up. I forgot the reasons why he told me he was locked up. I don't remember exactly what he told me, but I believed him that he was locked up for something silly, as he was describing it as something that, like a mistake, something really silly happened, like a little fight broke out. And he was telling me that he was living with his cousin in an apartment. And we kept chatting some more. Like, he would call me more often. And he would ask me, I don't remember how it eventually came into me sending him money often. I was spending so much money on this man. And I just can't remember like anything between then, like what made me send more and more money. I think he said, if you send me this much money, I can send you letters back home. If you send me this much money, I can write to you. And I believe he sent me, like, we were just chatting back and forth through letters. And he would write really good letters. Like, I remember we wrote about, like, get to know each other type of letter. What's our favorite music? What's our favorite food? And I was going with it, and he seemed to be falling for me. I believed it. And then he would have me call and text other girls who he claimed were his good friends, or I later found out a lot of them were either exes or current girlfriends. I can't really tell, but he would have me call them through three-way and ask them to do the same thing for him. And, I was still falling for this shit. I was still doing things that he asked me to do. And this is very, I feel very ashamed that I did things like that. It just shows, like, I don't know, I guess my self-esteem was very low, and I was just really desperate to be in a relationship, and then realize, like, this shit is wrong. This was wrong. And I was in a relationship with this guy for 2 years, and things went downhill, really. I find out that the person he was staying with wasn't a cousin, but actually his girlfriend. So he had a girlfriend while he was talking to me. And they were in a situation, and he ended up getting locked up after that. So he claimed that it was just a silly fight or a misunderstanding, but he denied that he had put his hands on her and different things that he got arrested for. And his girlfriend, like, she stuck to her story. I couldn't contact her because, there was probably I forgot what they call it. I can't think right now. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, it was just so tough. But I did so much for this guy. I've wasted so much fucking money. And he started asking for more and more money over those years that we were together. I went to his court dates, all of his court dates, to see him. There was so much shit. And kept sending him more money, asked for more for a care package and for different other things. And then we started doing things like illegal ways, like through PayPal, because PayPal used to have these cards where similar to like Green Dot cards, and you would have to like put money on them, and I think those were for like illegal transactions. I ended up sending money to people in person, like trading money. Sometimes I would get money too. I would get money back, and I feel like I was just in something that I wasn't supposed to be in. He had me involved in some illegal shit. I didn't get caught, of course, But I'm just saying, like, I just hope nobody else goes through this shit or falls for anything like this. So, I decided to go no contact with this person, and this freaking worked because things got extreme. Like, sometimes, like, during our phone calls, he would snap about something, snap out of anger. It was really scary when he was angry. I have a voice recording on my channel. If you want to check that out, I'll link it below. And he said threatening things about his family members, like he wanted to kill one of his family members. I spoke to his mother a few times. She told me some things. He claimed that his mother was crazy, don't believe anything she says, but I'm starting to think that what she was saying was true. Yeah, so basically, I didn't trust my gut during this time when I was in a relationship with a narcissist. I should have just trust my gut and just, you know, if I felt something wrong, the first time he asked for money, that was a red flag right there. I just hope nobody else goes through something like this, or if you're in a situation like this, just get out. It was easier for me because he was locked up, so I didn't have to worry about him like coming after me when I'm trying to leave. But I just want to let you know that there are resources out there, and please take advantage of them, whether it's through chat, through visiting a place, visiting the police station. There's a lot of help out there, and there's always somebody to talk to, somebody you can trust. Don't feel ashamed, because I was very ashamed about this, that I could fall for something like this. But if you're in an abusive relationship, just please get help. Please get out of that. I felt so much relief when I was out, and I haven't been with him. I haven't talked to him at all in 2 years, which is a blessing. And I feel like these type of, I don't even want to call them people, but narcissists, I feel like they're not even human. Like, there's something about them. It's like a evil spirit taking over them, I'm guessing. It's just pure evil. How could somebody gaslight people, just bring them down so much? I just don't understand. I feel like the YouTube community really educated me about this, because I never talked to anybody who was in like a similar situation, because I never knew that people like this existed, really. So I'll probably close this video up for now. There's a lot of things that I left out that happened. He was just so convincing, pretty much. And I found out that he was also violent, and he's the type of person, when you look at him, you wouldn't think he would do anything like that. But the thing that led him into jail, now prison, was something that he did to that woman, that his girlfriend that he was staying with. Basically, he was violent towards her. That's how he was locked up. I shouldn't have been talking to somebody like that, because he denied everything. He really did deny everything that happened. I learned a lot when I went to the trial. There was details about how she was hurt by him, and it really makes me sad. I'm sure it's like a scar on her that she'll always have. And I was just lucky that he was already locked up, and I never was in a physical. I never got that, physical chance with him, All right, let me just close this video up now. I'll probably make more videos on this in the future. It was very relieving to talk about it to somebody, to the YouTube community. It still hurts to think about how much time and money I wasted on this monster. I'm still angry. I'm still trying to get over this. I haven't really talked to a therapist about it, but I really need to, I feel like. But thank you for listening, and goodbye.